Well, a very good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, depending on where you are joining us today. My name is Ambassador Benjamin Oswansa, and you are warmly welcome to the Power Impact Series, brought to you by the African Seasoned Speakers Network. We're connecting all Africans from wherever you find yourself globally. This is the platform you need to be on so that we project the values of impacting our generation through the work we've done, through the opportunities we've had, through the industries, and through whichever field we find ourselves. And so this evening, on this episode, we are happy and so privileged to have in our studios a very wonderful person that you would want to listen to over and over and over and over again. Young dynamic man, young gentleman who has climbed the ladder. He's made inroads in his chosen field. So he will be here to share with us some of the things he's come through, he made and come out with. So, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are welcome to the Power Impact Series. And this evening, it's going to be a wonderful time. It's going to be a wonderful time. So just get glued to your system. And yeah. So today, as a side, he is the man in there, the man in blue. He is the man there. John Appiah, Mr. John Appiah. I hope you heard the name well, John Appiah. The middle name, he will mention it. He will mention the middle name himself. Right. So, Mr. John Appiah, welcome to the Power Impact Series.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ben. I'm very happy to be on this platform.
Wow. We are so glad to also have you on this platform. So, Mr. John Appiah is the CEO of ALA Consult and also the president of African Chamber for Youth Development. So, this evening, get your book, your pen, your everything, your device ready, because we have the president in-house, the president for youth development. It cuts boundaries, not only in Africa, wherever you find yourself that you are youth, your president is in the house. He's in the house. All right, so John, how are you doing, Mr. John Appiah?
I'm very well, very, very well. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I'm excited to be on.
Right. We are more than excited to have you on the show. I mean, it's an honor and a privilege to have you on this show. Yeah. So somebody will ask, who is John Appiah?
All right. This is just like preparing for a job interview. So some of the questions we preempt, and then we always prepare ourselves for it. But I must say that, Ben, you've done a good job by introducing me very well. You have essentially captured what it is that I do. And the only thing I will add to it is that I always want to tell people that I started off as a teacher, and I'm very proud of my teacher background. I think that most of the skills I have acquired, most of the competencies I have that has helped me up to now, I owe it a lot to the teaching profession. So I am very much somebody who's very proud of my teaching background, and I'm very excited that all the experiences I had, the encounters, has prepared me adequately to do what it is that I do now. So beyond the ALA Consult, which is a human capital development organization, I must say that I picked up that passion from my teaching experience. I realized that there's so much that we can do to help people to become better people, and that teaching in itself is a function of human capital development. It's not just about going to the training college and then going to the classroom to teach or something like that. I think that the core of it is to help people to be better. So I decided to venture into human capital development after several years working in the corporate world. And this is where I find myself now. So in terms of my corporate experience and background, I worked with Into IT Ghana Limited as a customer service person. Immediately after I'd done my national service as a teacher at the Mercy Islamic Secondary School, I worked almost like 2 years as a customer service advisor, as it was called at that time. But in our modern day world, we say that person was just a customer service manager. That is what it was. So I worked for almost 2 years, and I decided to go back to school to read a master's degree in communication studies. After I finished my master's degree in communication studies, I moved on to work with Joy FM as a producer of the Super Morning Show and then also News File. And whilst I was at Joy FM, I happened to lead one of their major corporate social responsibility projects called the Joy Read 100 Club. The idea was to empower young people to read and also to build a number of libraries in partnership with Corporate Ghana across the regions of Ghana. So that's what I was doing when I was at Joy FM. Then I moved on from Joy FM to the British High Commission, where I worked as a communications officer. So essentially, I was like a liaison between the media and the British High Commission. I was part of their government engagement. I was part of their public affairs team. And that was another great experience for me. I did that for a year, and I moved on to Invest in Africa, where I wanted to gain a lot of commercial acumen as well. Ben, I know you understand that in this communication industry, you have to get as much knowledge and experience as you can to allow you to be able to really make that impact. So I decided to test the waters on commercial side, trying to understand how I can build my commercial acumen. So I worked as a marketing manager for Invest in Africa. I did that close to about 2 years, and then I decided to start the A-League Consult and then the African Chamber for Youth Development. I must also say that my late dad was an entrepreneur. So he has started a business as far back as in 1981. I'm sure, Ben, you were not born. That's just kidding. That's just kidding. But in 1981, he started a medical clinic. All right. And then in 2018, he passed on. So as the first male child, the buck fell with me to also take over the business and try and lift it to another level. And for me, it's important to let people understand that sometimes you have to understand that not all of us can start businesses from scratch, but sometimes you can inherit businesses and you can grow the businesses and develop the businesses and make great impact and also make great money in the process as well. So I encourage a lot of young people to look at second generational entrepreneurship. Your mother may have started a small kiosk somewhere. Your mother may have a food cooking business or something of that sort. Don't always look at the white collar jobs. I'm not saying this because I had the opportunity to do white collar jobs, but I think that sometimes we can look into that area as well. Your mother may have started something that was what was used to take care of you, paid school fees, accommodation, and everything. Now that you've gone to school and gain knowledge and experience and build a solid network, I think that sometimes instead of just waiting for a white collar job, we may expect to bring those experiences into building those businesses. So I also run the Koforidua Clinic, which my dad started as the managing director as well. So these are the 3 things I do now. I run Koforidua Clinic, I lead the A-League Consult, and then I also lead the African Chamber of Development. So that's something brief about me.
Wow. This is a link. I need to click on this link. Well, but congrats to you and well done. We want to say, doing all these things. So how do you manage to do all these things? How do you do it? How do you manage to juggle around these things that you mentioned?
Right. So what it is that I'll be honest with you, the journey of entrepreneurship provides a certain level of flexibility. All right. So typically what I do is that Mondays to Wednesdays, I travel to Koforidua, where I actually live and stay in Koforidua for those 3 days, just to give me that consciousness to pay attention to the clinic. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, over the weekend, I am back in Accra trying to push the agenda for the other businesses as well. Now, anytime there's any serious business that has to be done, I can move between those 2 businesses, either the clinic business or the A-League business or the African Chamber for Youth Development. I'm able to plan around it so that I can have enough time to pay attention to what will bring me money at the end of the day. It's a difficult thing, but we have to just be committed to it. Sometimes you be tired, sometimes you feel like giving up, but Charlie, we will continue. How we go do it? And we'll try small.
All right. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. You have to try. You said one thing during the earlier one that it's not any person that can start something. It's not any person that can start up something, but you can kind of build upon something that has been started already that you inherit or has been given unto you. But sometimes when you are not the one who started it, so we normally say it's not your baby, but then it has been given to you. What are some of the challenges with such things? I mean, you are not the originator of it, but it's been given to you. Sometimes that is not even your plan. It's not even your vision, but it's so happened that it falls on your laps. How do you go about it so that you can either make it better than how it was given to you to another level altogether? How do you handle such situations? I mean, since you are a consultant in that field.
Great. So Ben, that's a very brilliant question. And for me, one of the major challenges I faced was dealing with change. Because you see, one of the constant things that I get people saying that, well, when your father was alive, that was not how things were done. Or when your father was running the business, that was not how things were done. All right. So one of the greatest obstacles you may be faced with will be the element of change and people's resistance to change. All right. Because you see, you should have the ultimate goal of building the business, the ultimate goal of making the business better. If you have that vision and you're able to clearly articulate it to the people you work with, for them to understand that look, the ways will change, the strategies will change, but at the end of the day, it is meant to improve the business so that we can take good care of you, we can pay your salaries well, and then we can grow the business. If you help your people to understand this, they can get that vibe, and over time, they will believe in what it is you can do, and they will be committed to what it is you want them to do. And the truth of the matter too is that sometimes you should let your results speak for you. So if you decide to make some radical or strategic decisions and changes, it should be profitable. At the end of the day, they should see that, oh, okay, so after all, it was important we change our ways because now we are seeing more productivity, we are seeing more profitability. All right. So for me, when I took over the business, one of the things I had to do was to prove to the people I was working with that I was capable of doing the job. And the only thing that helped me to do that was the results, the impact, the transformation, the change that they themselves witnessed and allowed them to be able to, grant me that legitimacy to be able to operate. So I tell people it may not be very easy, but the most important thing is that you should have a passion to improve the business, make the business better, and then the people you work with can get along well with you and you'll be able to make the required impact. And then Ben, I should also say that not everyone will become an entrepreneur, whether a second generation entrepreneur or a first generation entrepreneur. But even in that context, you can work for somebody, commit yourself, work very hard, and be able to succeed and prosper and do well for yourself. Because you see, I'm beginning to feel that most of us young people are thinking that, oh, by all means, I need to become a CEO. By all means, I need to become an entrepreneur. By all means, I need to start something on my own. Not all of us have the kind of DNA to be able to do that. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with working for somebody else. I don't find that demeaning or in any way undergrading yourself or undervaluing yourself. They are big-time companies that if you get the opportunity to work with, look, it is a blessing for you. I know people that have never done their own businesses. They are multi-billionaires working for people and giving up their best to the people that they are working with. All right. So we need to be able to help the young people of this generation to understand the fine balance. Not all of us will be entrepreneurs, and not all of us will also be able to work for people. But the most important thing is that no matter the context you find yourself in, just strive to make the best out of it. And I can assure you, you will prosper, you will do well, and you can take care of yourself and your family as
well. Wow. Oh, hello, viewers. See, we've already started the conversation. We've started the conversation. So if you're joining us, I mean, we are happy to have you join us online. We are here today with Mr. John Appiah. And just this few minutes, he set the tone for us. So taking up a job or an enterprise that you did not start, taking it up and then trying to prove to the people that you are capable of handling it. How was it stepping on people's toes to prove to them that you can do it, or being a nice person because you are a new person that have gotten the thing? How was it like? I mean, were you that straightforward person, hey, I will need to let you know that, yeah, I can do this thing, so it's going my way. Or as they just say, because you also want to be accepted in that sphere, you kind of follow them up and then just take it up that way. So we are gradually driving and getting to how to handle bad and difficult bosses, because in life you're going to have bosses. You're going to have bosses. So how do you handle bad and difficult bosses? A boss might just be coming from a place that has been given the company. He didn't start it. She didn't start it. He just been given the company. So she or he wants to also prove that I can handle it. Or he or she might have started it, and per his or her past experience will say, I need to do it this way. And you, as the employee, how do you handle bad or difficult bosses?
Charlie, brilliant question. You've just dovetailed us into the main discussion today. So, I mean, there are a number of things that I would say. So, for example, I am convinced that the personality type of who your boss is greatly influences the person's approach to leadership. All right.
Okay.
Personally, I am a cool, calm person. I'm somebody who would like to make sure that people are treated well, and it's in my disposition. In fact, I have had people tell me that, oh, because I care too much about people, they don't think that I'll be successful in business, because they say that business is not for the poor, and all manner of things have been said. But that's my personality. That is how I am. I love to make sure people are comfortable. I love to ensure that people are well taken care of. And then I bend my back to make sure that you're comfortable. So that is my leadership style. All right. So one of the things I did to show people that I am really serious about what I'm doing was that I proved to them that I'm concerned about them. I proved to them that their welfare is of priority to me. I proved to them that their well-being was of importance to me. And I'm not just in because of the bottom line. I'm not just in because of the dollars we make or the profits we're going to make at the end of the day. But I was genuinely interested in the development and the welfare of the people that I was leading. And that for me has been something that has helped me and really provided that ambience for the people I work with to get along well with me and to be able to achieve our results. All right. So in that context, obviously, I was not a difficult boss, or I am not a difficult boss, at least as far as I know. Because the point is that you may be thinking that, oh, you are a very good, kind-hearted boss, but your people have nicknamed you Agokoli, or they have nicknamed you the wicked tyrant or Pharaoh behind your back. You may never know. All right. But the point I'm driving at is that as much as it depends on me, I believe that my personality type and the experiences I've had in the past has provided that kind of ambience within which I do my work as a leader of this organization.
Okay. I love that. So yeah, so all the people that will be nicknamed King Agokoli, please come up and show yourself, and let's see how we're going to let's see how we're going to deal with you. All right, so it means personality is kind of inculcated in your duties as a boss. Your personality also counts. It plays a key role. Okay, it plays a key role in your daily managing or kind of your line of duty as a manager. Your personality also counts. So what if, like as you said, the person is that easygoing person, wants everybody to feel comfortable, wants everybody to feel okay, and in that case, the people are kind of taking advantage of that and then trying not to do what's supposed to be done. But because you see this boss, kind of free kind of person, he can't really stamp his or her authority. How do you go about such a thing? Because it's their personality. They want people to feel comfortable. But in doing that, the people are also taking advantage of that kind of attribute that the person has.
All right. So two things. All right. Two things. The first thing is that I believe that if you lead by example, if you prove to people that you have the competence, you prove to people you have the technical expertise, you prove to people that what it is that they are doing, you are capable of doing, and they actually see you doing it. It is for me the greatest testament of your ability to lead. All right. So that's one of the strategies I use. I lead by example. So for example, in the clinic, I'm not a medical doctor. The only thing I cannot do in the clinic is to consult in the consulting room as a doctor. But from the records department, maybe the nursing and then the lab as well, those are technical areas. But any other administrative duty, I have mastered the art of doing it. So there are times you come to the clinic and I'm the one at the records department registering people and setting the records straight for people to continue. And you go to maybe the cashier department, I am there, I know how to do it, so I'm doing it. All right. And you come to work and I've already reported to work. So if I stand in front of you to tell you that the reporting time is 7 o'clock, I am leading by example. By the time you come, I'm already here. All right. Okay. So that's one of the strategies that will help people to come to their in quote senses. Because I realize that, especially in this part of our world, people take undue advantage of people's kindness, of people's gentleness, of people's, a mild approach to doing things. All right. So I use the tool of setting an example, proving to the people. So if you come and I'm talking to the customers well, then who are you to come and talk to the customers anyhow? Because I am the one that pays you at the end of the month. You see me and I'm talking to the client respectfully. You see me and I'm really attending to the client the way I ought to do it. Then you at the back, it just breaks your conscience that, hey, this man, he's serious about what he's doing. He's setting that example, and therefore I need it to in that line. The second thing too is that, you see, sometimes people think that the only language people understand is violence and aggression. But I think that you can talk to somebody in a cool, in a calm manner, but be hitting on very important points that will trigger the person's ability to think. Because you see, some people will be only moved when you shout and you scream. But you can also say it in a polite, respectful manner that will trigger the person to think. All right. So it is not always about being harsh and being, if you're not harsh, they will walk over you and they will do this and do that. And the point too is that when somebody goes wrong, you are bold enough to approach the person and say, Madam, what you do or what you did, it's not right. We will not tolerate such an attitude in this business again. If I see this happen a second time, it is going to result in this measure or that measure. And one of the things that helps me because of my personality type is to make sure there are structures and there are policies in place. So if it is a known policy in the office that if you come late, this is the punishment for you, everybody in the office knows. So I don't have to come and shout and enforce that because it is there. And I wouldn't have to be somebody who will practice favoritism because it is something that is there. If your name is not logged in at the appropriate time, this is the sanction that goes with it. If you come to the office at late or if you misbehave in the office or do this, this is what happens to you. So most of the time, I allow the policies and the structures to help me to be able to be very firm and to ensure that the right things are done. And in as much as I'm kind-hearted and I am this and that, when it comes to my business, I don't joke with it because that is what will take care of us. If we all don't take the business seriously, I tell them all the time, look, people can get up and resign from the business. Just last month or two, about 2 or 3 people resigned from the business. But it doesn't mean that because somebody has resigned, the business will collapse. It has to continue. All right. So on a conscious basis, I'm speaking to them and telling them, look, everybody here can leave me and go, but I can't leave the business because it is my business now. So I have to do what I have to do. So even if I take a decision that is drastic, it is in the interest of the business. I keep telling them that, look, business interest before personal interest. So even me here, I'm not here because I have to be here. I am here because of the interest of the business. And as much as it's a family business, if at the end of the year we're not making profits, we're running at a loss, our debtors are chasing us and we're going to court and all that, of course, whoever is in charge will just take the business from my hand. Or even the business itself will die and collapse. All right. So I keep telling them. And then, like I said, the structures of a board of directors, I report to the board of directors. I am accountable to them. So if I don't do the work, well, they won't tell you that because the business belongs to my father, I have to stay here for the rest of my life. They will kick me out and bring somebody in to ensure the business runs. But I will still be a shareholder. When the profit comes, I'll get some chop. All right. But the point I'm making is that if you have the structures working in your favor, we have a disciplinary committee, we have management meetings, all those structures are in place. Heads of departments are empowered to do their work. So at the end of the day, I don't have to go around screaming, shouting, and all that. The various structures and the various heads of departments and all that help me to be able to achieve my goals or my objectives.
Wow. So it's not necessarily because the thing is a family business, so you can do it anyhow. You have a structure, and that structure also keeps some kind of pressure on you. All right, so that's coming from a boss's point of view. So that's now, right. How do an employee handle a bad or a difficult boss. The employee might not know all this above information.
That's right.
There's some targets, there's this, there's that, there's this. He needs to meet this target. He needs to satisfy the board of directors. He needs to satisfy the stakeholders of the business and whoever is involved. But the employee sometimes have no clue about all these things. But the kind of staff the manager is using to run the business, it makes it look to the employee as a bad or a difficult boss. So as an employee, how do you handle a bad or a difficult boss? Over to you, Mr. John.
Great. So what I would do is that I would like to define some key characteristics of a difficult boss or a bad boss or a terrible boss or a horrible boss. All right. And the point is that there are some of these characteristics that may come once in a while. Once in a while. These characteristics, but that doesn't qualify the person to be called a bad boss or a difficult boss. But we're looking at the instances where these characteristics are very consistent, almost on a daily basis. You see a manifestation or expression of these characteristics I'm about to mention. Then you can qualify or you can rank that person as being a difficult boss or a very bad boss. All right. So the first thing I'll talk about too is that, in the course of your career, one way or the other, you will encounter a difficult boss. It's like a prophecy. No matter where you pass, you will meet one boss who is difficult, who is very, very aggressive, who is all that I'm going to talk about. That is why it's important for you to pay attention to this conversation to be able to make the best out of such circumstances and situations. And also for the bosses that are listening to us, if these characteristics are manifesting in your life on a daily basis, then look at ways to amend your ways or to change to become a more, affable boss or a more productive boss. So the first thing I'll talk about is that most of the time, these difficult bosses are micromanagers. They are experts at micromanaging. They want to be in everything all the time, even to the point that even the type of font size you use in your reports, they want to dictate to you what you're supposed to do. Those are super micromanagers. They want to micromanage even the way you have placed your things on your laptop, on your desk. They want to even micromanage everything about the work process. They are constantly on your neck. They don't give you any breathing space at all. Even if you write anything for them, they will make sure that they have to find an error and correct something. They are just experts at micromanaging. Those are typically people that usually fall into the category of what I call the difficult bosses, because they don't give you any room for creativity. They don't give you any room for you to be innovative. They just are on your neck to ensure that you do it as exactly as how they want you to do it. Okay. The second thing I'll talk about is that most of them are highly unprofessional. What I mean is that even in their approach to work, it is full of unprofessional attitudes and behaviors and gestures. There is no sense of professionalism in the way they work, in the manner in which they talk, even sometimes in the way they dress and the way they come to the office. Everything is haphazard, everything is all over the place. And this person happens to be your boss. It is one of the manifestations of a very difficult or a very bad boss. Those that are so unprofessional in everything that they do. They will never send you an email. They will prefer to use informal ways to get things done all the time. It is difficult to work with such people. All right. The other thing too is that most of them too are very poor communicators. What it means is that they have not even mastered the art of communicating very well with the people they work with. So even in giving instructions, today they say this, tomorrow they deny it. And because it's not formally written or it is not formally done, they can always deny it. All right. So they are poor communicators. They want to tell you that take A and B, but they will say B and A before C. I mean, confused communication. And that obviously is a mark of a very bad or difficult boss. The other thing too is that they make themselves unapproachable to the point that even you as an employer, if you want to go and see your boss, you have to book in advance. You have to talk to the boss's secretary. You have to write a 3-page letter why you want to see your boss. They are just not accessible. You cannot just bump into his office and say, oh, boss, excuse me, I want us to have a discussion. Do you have an appointment? Even you who work with him, you need an appointment to go and see him. So they are unapproachable. They are inaccessible. They will never pick your call. You can call them off the hook. They will never pick your call. You send them text messages. You see that it has indicated read, but they are not going to respond to your messages. They make themselves purely unaccessible. Those are difficult bosses. The other thing too is that.
All right, let me get you. So, viewers, we are enjoying ourselves here. We're knowing the category of bosses. So, John, is it that the last point you just made, they don't make themselves accessible? Is it an intentional thing some bosses do, or it's part of them, or they just want to create that kind of tyrant kind of thing so that nobody approaches me, or it's just a good thing that they are doing to just shield themselves from employees?
Exactly. So for those who in their hearts set out to become difficult or bad bosses, it is a deliberate strategy they adopt.
Okay.
They adapt that strategy just to make sure that you are always on edge, because you can't have access to me. You don't know my mind. You cannot predict what I'm going to do next, and therefore you are always at your wit's end. And that is a way they exercise authority and power.
Okay.
All right. So sometimes it is deliberate. They know very well. They'll make the process so cumbersome that you don't even want to go and see your boss and have a conversation with your boss. But you have to book in advance, send an email, give a 3-page letter, express it in writing what you want to ask to talk about. I mean, how do you do that? These are people you work with. Even if the person is passing and you just interact, oh, good evening, please, do you have an appointment with me? Come and see me in my office, talk to my secretary. Sometimes it is a strategy they adapt just to make sure that they frustrate you and make your life miserable for you. So I would say that some of them, it is deliberate. But there are others that, you see, the point I make is that your employees are your internal customers. So even if somebody who works with you on a daily basis cannot have access to you to discuss ideas with you, to share thoughts with you, then what is it that how can things work? I know of a particular boss in an office somewhere, even at staff meetings, it's a one-way thing. When I'm talking, you don't talk, just listen to me. Can you just imagine? That's the level of the way they have built themselves to be unapproachable and totally inaccessible. All right. I hope I've been able to address that issue for you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Good. The other thing too is that there are some difficult bosses that are always taking credit that doesn't belong to them. I write a report for you because I report to you, and then you take the report to management meeting, and management is happy about it. Board of directors are excited about it, but you don't give credit to me. You tell them, yeah, that's my own effort. Yeah, I did that. It's me. Yeah, that's my report. They are always taking credit that is not due them. And that's one way you can identify a very bad boss. They never come back to share feedback with you that, oh, John, the report you sent to me was excellent, brilliant. They loved it. Charlie, keep it up. Can we go for lunch even today? Or can you, they will make sure that any credit that is due an employee, they take the credit themselves. That's one thing you can look out for when it comes to a difficult or a bad boss. The other thing too is that some of them are super pessimistic. They are so negative. They don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. Any brilliant idea you bring, they shoot the idea down. In fact, they go beyond just shooting your idea down, and they attack your personality. They make you feel so incompetent and incapable because they want to dominate and have 100% control. So they will ensure that even the ideas you have and the things you say, they don't give you any glimmer of hope. They don't give you any iota of hope, because as for them, that is their nature, pessimistic. You bring an idea, they shoot it down. They bring an idea, they shoot it down to make you think that, yes, I am the one in charge. I have the final say. When I talk, nobody talks. It is only my ideas that are intelligent. All the other ideas that are coming are not intelligent ideas. So they are very pessimistic. They will never in any way say anything to encourage you or push you to go for it. And then some of them are bullies. Then they will bully you like you are a homo, or you are a first-year student in a secondary school. They will just be bullying you around, tossing you left and right. Even if they know that the path is A, they won't tell you. They will let you go and crash. When you come back, they will insult you on top of it as well. They are just bullies, just to ensure that they have dominance all the time. All right. Okay. If you talk to them and, for example, you don't address them by their names like doctor or their titles, they will correct you in front of everybody. Are you my co-equal? Who said chia? Something like that. Just they will do anything to intimidate you. So those are difficult bosses. They are bullies, and they just go ahead to intimidate. Then, unfortunately, some of them are emotionally unintelligent. What it means is that even sometimes in the decisions they make, in the choices they make, and their choice of words and modes of communication and all that, it has no semblance of emotional intelligence in them. You are talking to somebody capable of being your mother, but you are talking to the person as if the person is a daycare child or a primary student or a secondary school student. Somebody comes and has a difficulty, and that's why the person was late. The person is trying to explain to you, and you are like, you don't care. It's none of my business. You are here to do just one thing. Do it and leave my office. You know, that kind of emotional intelligence is listen. And for such bosses, if you work with them on a daily basis, they can have a strong negative impact on your sense of self-esteem and your sense of self-confidence. All right. And maybe the last thing I'll talk about is that some of them are very vindictive. Ben, they never forgive. Anything you do against them, they record it in black pen. And at the right time, they will refer you and they will make sure they punish you for that which you did to them. So let's say in a staff meeting, he as the boss or she as the boss comes up with an idea. And then in the midst of the people, you get up to say, oh, boss, that's a good idea. But I think that if we do it this way and that way, it appears that it will serve the purpose of the business. Then everybody's clapping for you. He has written down your name in black. You meet him in the office or her in the office and you see what he did. You know, so some of them are very vindictive. Now, quickly, how do you handle such bosses? One of the things I recommend to people is that anytime you have a meeting with such a boss, make sure you are taking notes. Make sure you are writing or you are chronicling all that is being discussed. Because these same people will come back and say, I didn't tell you this. I didn't say this. I didn't say that. All right. So when you are going into meetings with them, carry your notebook along. At least when they say something, write it down. Even in some instances, after you are finished with their meeting, you have to send an email capturing the discussion so that at least there's an evidence of trained or there's a trail of the conversation so that if anything should happen, can refer to that and use that as your basis to take a decision. The second thing too is that for such difficult bosses, you must try as much as you can to agree with them on what your key performance indicators are, what your goals are, what your objectives are, what your job description is, what your duties are. Once you're able to settle that, then you as an individual, as an employee, you know what it is you're expected to do in the business. Then it will surprise you that some of these difficult bosses, they will not even give you a job description. Today, you are managing customers. Tomorrow, you are managing sales. The next day, you are doing marketing. So at the end of the day, you yourself, you are confused because you don't know what it is you are doing. And the person comes back and says that you have performed poorly because of that, no bonus for you, no salary raise for you, and they may even want to indict you or even sack you from the job or fire you. But you didn't know what you were there even in the first place to do. Exactly. So one of the things I encourage people to do is that agree with them. What is my job description? What are you expecting me to do? What are my goals and my objectives? Once you have these things on paper, it serves as a guide for you and it helps you to maintain a certain level of sanity. Because if you don't do that, you'll be so confused and angry. Ben, I can tell you that there are people who tomorrow is a Monday. They dread going to the office because they have such difficult bosses at work. They don't even know, even tomorrow, what's the game plan? What am I going to do at work tomorrow? I just have to appear and be there, and that's about it. So I encourage people that make sure you agree on your targets, your goals, and your objectives. The other thing too is that when it comes to issues of harassment, all right, one of the things I should have said earlier on in terms of the characteristics, some of these bad bosses are people that are abusive. So they are verbally abusive. They can use insults at you. They can say all manner of things at you. They can abuse you emotionally, torment and torture you. And some even to the extreme may even want to physically assault you. They are so angry that they pick up the air conditioning control and throw it at you. Or they sometimes even attempt to hit you because you have done something that is wrong. Those things are abuse. You don't have to tolerate those things. Or some of them even sexually take advantage of the people they work with. Because they are the boss and they are on top, they even use some kind of sexist language that doesn't even favor you. The comments they make about your structure and your shape, and it makes it so uncomfortable. But he is your boss or she is your boss, and this person is abusing you sexually or physically or emotionally or verbally. So what you need to understand is that every boss has a boss. Every boss has a boss. So even though I am, let's say, the managing director, like I said to you, I report to the board of directors. So even if you have a problem with me and you're not happy about it, you have a channel of addressing it. If I'm your departmental head and I'm not doing very well, or I'm maltreating you, or being a difficult or a bad boss, the department head has somebody who is superior, maybe the HR director or the head of HR or something like that, or the general manager, and on and on and on. So you should understand the hierarchy of the business you find yourself in, so that at every point in time where there is abuse, you know how to address the abuse situation by engaging with the superiors of your bosses, so that they will bring them in check, or they will make sure that they are brought back in check. In some instances, it is so serious that you may even have to report to the police station, or you may have to criminalize the whole engagement because your life is at stake, So, depending on the severity of the thing, and as to whether or not there are internal structures to help you deal with these things, sometimes you may have to resort to the police, for example, just to ensure that nobody beats you and goes scot-free, or nobody sexually abuses you and goes scot-free. So you need to keep that in mind. The hierarchy in that organization will help you to be able to check the boss who's becoming a difficult boss, who's a bad boss. The other thing too I say to people is that, look, you have to learn not to take things too personally, especially when you begin to realize that this is the way this particular boss operates. This is the way this particular manager operates. Once you get to understand and you know the modus operandi of this person, then you adjust. So I know some people, they have stayed in a very hostile environment for so long and they are doing well. How do they do it? They have studied their bad bosses and they know them. So for example, they know that if my boss comes to the office on Monday, the first thing he'll ask about is A, B, and C. If I write a report to my boss, one of the things that triggers his anger and his misbehavior is when I don't dot my I's and I don't cross my T's. So they have studied their bosses. They can preempt. They can actually predict that, oh, this thing, if my boss comes and then my telephone is on this side of the desk, it is trouble for me, wahala for me. So they have gone ahead of their bosses. And now they live and coexist peacefully. And you're like, hey, Charlie, how have you been doing this for the past 3 years? They have studied the system and they've been able to adjust to the point where they are able to live and work well with these bosses that are difficult and those that are bad. All right. So that is what I would say. The last thing maybe I would say too is that sometimes too, you need to also, as a person, as an employee, build your emotional tenacity, because it's not an easy world. You cannot have everything going your way. You will not have everybody liking you. You may not have everybody praising you and all that. You have to be strong. You have to be strong, emotionally strong, psychologically strong to be able to endure the work world. Look, the corporate world, it is not bread and butter. It is actually like giddy. People have targets to meet. People have things to do. So if you are a very petty person, somebody walks by you and maybe looks at your dress and say, hey, and there was a blue, and that offends you so much like that you decide not to talk to the person again. You are worrying yourself. All right. And I tell people that, look, we're in a workplace not to make friends or family. We are here to work. So even if you don't like me and I have to do something with you, I'll come and do it. Oh, madam, please, can we look at how to structure this and this and that? We'll do what we have to do. After 5 o'clock, if you see me in town and you even spit at me, I don't mind. But the point is that once we're at work, we have to do what we have to do.
We have to do what's supposed to be done at work.
They should psych themselves. They should psych their minds that, look, we are here to work. We are not here to fellowship, or we are not here to make friends, or we are not here to do that. We are here to achieve our business goals and objectives. So if you come to work and you do wrong and maybe I say it, it doesn't mean I hate you. I am telling you that what you did is not right. Do the right thing the next time. Then we'll close the chapter and then we'll move on. So I would encourage a lot of people that, look, don't take things too personally and have that mindset in your mind. See, the typical Ghanaian is like, oh, I saw you, madam, for you have to be my friend. Oh, because Charlie, no. We are here to do business. And that is what brought us together. Had it not been for this business, we may never even have met in the first place. Exactly. So if you have that kind of correct mindset, it helps you to adjust to no matter how difficult your boss is, or no matter how bad or horrible or terrible your boss is. Even your boss at the point will realize that, as for Ben, Charlie, leave that guy. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it.
Beautiful. So don't take things personal. Don't take things at heart. We're here to achieve this purpose. So even though you disagree with my ideologies, what needs to be done has to be done. Let's forget about that. Focus on what's supposed to be done and just let's hit it on. Beautiful one. Thank you so much. This is the power Impact series, and I am so thrilled by this practical experience being shared with us by Mr. John. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this man has a portfolio of things he's doing on a daily basis. So to be able to juggle around and do it well and steady his bosses, and he still has a boss.
That's right.
He still has a boss. He still has a boss. So he studied how his bosses are and he's handling them accordingly. So it's not just something he's read and he's telling us. This is a practical thing he's been doing for years and he's telling us. All right. So, John, you were saying something about a bad boss. That's communication being their challenge. So, do you say that's not an intentional thing? Maybe the boss has not even realized that. Okay, so let's take this example. So I'm working with John. I'm the boss. Now John has been helping me, and I've not made John my PA. John is not my PA, but I love the way John does his work. So most of the time, I try to push a lot of things to John to do for me. Now, I chance on another person in the organization, and I felt that, oh, this person can also do this kind of thing that John is doing for me. So I also put some things to the other person without informing John about it. Now, John will just be there and realize that, all of a sudden, the boss is now rolling with this other employee without telling me anything. John becomes offended, and it kind of demoralizes John's way of doing work. As you, how do you approach such a situation? How do you kind of bring the boss's mind to it? Probably, as you're saying, he's not really noticed it. He's not seen it. He feels that this person can do this job for me at this time, so let this person do this job. And the other time, he just turn on to somebody else to do the job for me. But those that he's already assigned to do certain things feels that it is their right to be doing that, but now they see that some other person is doing that. Communication wise, how do you handle such a boss?
Great, good question, Ben. So you remember that one of the things I said is that we are at the business place to achieve some objectives, and number two, you don't take things too personally. So assuming that if the boss comes to the office, I am the one that used to take his bag, or I pick his bag and I send it to his office. One day I come and then another person is carrying the bag to the office. At the end of the day, the bag gets to the office. So at the end of the day, the work has been done. All right. So I usually encourage people that, look, sometimes people are it's at their own discretion. They decide. So, for example, maybe I have a particular staff that I send to do something for me almost on a daily basis. But one day I send a different person. You have to understand that. That's why I was saying that you need to agree on your job description and what it is you're supposed to do. If what the person is supposed to do or what the person is doing is interfering with your agreed upon key performance indicators or your goals or your objectives, then you may have an issue. But if it doesn't in any way interfere, if it doesn't in any way make you redundant, because you see, the moment you feel you are becoming redundant, you need to really draw the attention of the people that matter to it, because if you don't do that, a time will come, you'll just be written off and then you may lose your job. So I think that one of the things people will have to understand is that you need to, first of all, know what it is you're supposed to do in the business or in that organization and keep that at the back of your mind. The second thing too is that in the matter of communication, there are some bosses that deliberately do that because they know that once they formalize their communications and everything, you can come back to them and refer them and use it as an example and use it as a tool against them. So they will not even communicate with you in the first place. They will live in their own empire or in their own world. Like I said, they will try to be unapproachable and inaccessible. So you can't even go and have a discussion that, oh, boss, but this key performance indicators, it is my duty to do it. So if I've brought somebody else to do that, please, can you be clear on what it is that we have to do? And the problem with that is that leads to the concept of office politics becoming more entrenched in businesses and in corporate Ghana or in the corporate offices, because everybody's looking out for his or her interest. So if I was the one supposed to write the daily report and then I see another person writing a daily report, then immediately there's tension between the person writing the daily report and me, because this is what I'm supposed to do. So when all of us write the daily report and send it to the office, what then happens? So there's a lot of rancor and a lot of emotional tensions, and sometimes some of the bosses are happy. They go back and they watch like a movie and they are laughing. I have said this people up. They're going to beat themselves to death. By all means, one will resign, and they just don't care.
Okay.
So what I say is that you have to be sure what your job description is. Anybody that is introduced into the business that sort of copies what it is you are doing or mimicking what it is that you are doing, you need to have a conversation with your boss or with the HR manager or HR director to draw the attention that, okay, it appears that now what I was supposed to do, the original reason for which I have been brought to the office, it is not being used, or I'm not being utilized the way I was, initially conscientized or I was told I was going to be doing. So is there a new job role for me? Is there something else you may want me to do? Because if you don't do that and you're happy because you go and come and nobody queries you and you're like, at the end of the month, I'll be paid. You can't continue like that. At a point, it will become a burden to the business. So they'll have to let you go. So study the situation. If you need to make an approach to your HR director or to your boss himself to have that discussion, I think that you should master the courage and have that discussion with your boss so that at the end of the day, things will be cleared. There are some of the bosses, if you don't go to them, they will never come to you. And unfortunately, there are some of them, when you make the bold attempt to go to them, they listen to you, they will grant you the audience. And then what they have to say to you, they will say. But if you don't make any attempt, if you're not proactive, and you are just there, and me too, I'm in my corner, I don't mind, then you may become a victim.
All right, so if you're not coming, be there. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's happening to you. I will go the way I'm going, because for me, I'm the boss. So that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, so all right, thank you, Linda Arthur, for joining us all the way from Australia. And John, Linda Arthur says this is an international concept. You go to work and do your part. Good stuff. That's all. Good. Yeah, it says So that's the whole thing. Go and do what you've been given. I mean, after work, find your relationship, build up the family you want to build up. But once you are in there, going for what you've been prescribed to do what you can do aside what you've been prescribed to do that can make the job better, because it is what is giving you the salary. It's what is giving you that kind of light to shine for other people to see you. So that is good. That is good. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I mean, as we said earlier, if you want to join and then sponsor this program so we get a wider range, our doors are always open for you to do that, so that these nuggets can be shared with a lot of people to know. And today's topic, I'm sober, John. I'm sober because I mean, people have a lot of questions about this handling bosses, and then you clearly stated it. Some of them, they have no idea of what they are doing. Others too, it's a planned thing. It's a planned thing. So the earlier you get to understand this, you know how to approach them, and then you can be doing your work. You can be take out all emotions and do what's supposed to be done. Wow. I love the other point you said, that there are some of the bosses you go to a meeting and they tend to be just, how do we call that one? Those days you use a Motorola phone. It's a one-way direction. I speak and you talk.
Okay.
Wow. So beautiful nuggets that has been shared with us by Mr. John. And he manages a clinic, so I love his way of talking. He's assuming the way doctors also treat. So he treated us. Today we came to the world and he has treated us.
Oh, Ben, very interesting.
He has treated us so well. And then we are so blessed and so happy to have him here. Yeah, so what was the score today? Chelsea? Or it was yesterday?
Boss, I mean, I wear it for fashion. I know nothing about it. Blue is my favorite color. I mean, at least when Etienne was in Chelsea and Drogba, yes, I used to follow, but now I've lost track. They change players too much. I can't follow this game.
All right. John says he just likes the color. He just likes the color. Doesn't follow them. That is true. That's good. That's good. So, viewers all around the world, thank you for joining us for this evening's uh, episode. But John, so before you go, do you have is A-League having any plans? Is any of your company having any plans to enroll? You are almost in the last quarter of the year, or do you have any plans to bring on board? I think you also the chairman of the board of directors for Days for Girls International. What is it about? What is that about?
All right. All right. So Days for Girls International is an international NGO that focuses exclusively on menstrual hygiene. All right.
Okay.
And the whole goal of the NGO is to ensure that young ladies don't miss out on their life, on their education, because they are in their menses or they are in their period and they don't have access to quality, hygiene products that will help them to be able to continue to do what it is that they are doing. So Days for Girls manufactures, or we have the rewashable parts. That's what we are championing, especially in this part of our world, so that anybody everywhere can have access to it. The young ladies can have access to it. They can still focus on the education and they can still go to school and still make impact as well. So that is the core focus of Days for Girls. And I'm happy to be part of their board and to chair the board. And one of the things we are doing consciously in Ghana is to ensure that not only do we empower the young ladies with the issue or with matters of menstrual hygiene, but we also try to help them build their self-esteem and their sense of self-confidence so that they are not intimidated or they don't feel that they are second-class people just because they are women and they may happen to, at the end of every month, menstruate or go through their periods. It is normal, and life will not end or will not stop because of such a thing like that, which is natural and normal. So I'm happy to be part of the board. And tomorrow is International Girl Child Day. We are looking forward to also extending the impact of what it is that we do. And we hope men get to understand things like that and will not just say that it's a woman matter and leave it as it is. All right. Now to the question about what it is that we are doing at A-League Council. So these conversations we're having are conversations that people will need to, have to be able to help them to have that mindset to help them to excel and succeed in the workplaces. I can tell you that about 60 to 70% of people that resign from their work or from their jobs, most of the time, it may not necessarily be a matter of salary or a matter of the job description. Sometimes it's because of some of these terrible, difficult, bad bosses that push some of these people out of resigning and out of their jobs. All right. But unfortunately, anywhere you go, any environment you find yourself, so long as there's something called office politics that exists, there may be the likelihood of still meeting even worse bosses. Look, I used to work in a place, I felt that my boss was like the whole world, the worst boss, until I moved into another organization. I realized that, so there are hierarchies in this thing. So one of the things we are consciously doing at A-League Consult is that when we get the opportunity to engage with businesses and employees, we talk to them about the realities on the ground. We talk to them about very important soft skills like emotional intelligence. We talk to them about things like how to become an outstanding employee. We talk to them about how you can coexist and work together in a team. These are things that may not necessarily be, taught in the classroom or lectured in a university, but these are soft skills that you need on a job to be able to excel. And Ben, I need to say this: there are some very difficult, in quote, horrible bosses that are super competent. They know their work. They are sharp people. You can't take that away from them. They are experts. They can do the job, but it's just that their other side may not be very pleasant. But there are people that can do the job. That is why some of them can stay in businesses for so long, and the owners of the business don't want to sack them because, look, in spite of them having the negative side in terms of their personality and their absence of soft skills and all that, actually they are experts. They know the job. They do the job. They make things happen. Okay. All right. So we are trying to retrain people to think that, look, you can be competent, but you need that emotional intelligence balance to be able to succeed in the workplace. We are trying to also, you see, sometimes some people are promoted rapidly at a pace that sometimes they are not able to grasp it very well. Okay. So they realize that, okay, I used to be just a front desk person, but today I've been elevated to a general manager in charge of HR. So your mindset will have to change. Your outlook will have to change. You know, sometimes people can't handle leadership. People don't even know what to do to become effective leaders. So at Elite Consult, we are constantly engaging with the human resource departments, we are engaging with business owners, and we are looking for opportunities to go into these businesses to bring some of this knowledge to them, to build their capacity and raise their standards, to be able to help them to have the appropriate mindset and the right soft skills that will help them to be able to actually contribute to productivity and profitability of business. That's one of the things that all year round we are constantly engaged with as Elite Consult. And we look forward to having the opportunity to work with more people, more businesses, more organizations. Some of the things we've discussed within this hour, these are things that we usually take our time, break it down, and ensure that to the various levels in the organizations, we're able to help them grasp the importance of some of these conversations we're having.
Right. This is beautiful, John. That's a lot of things your team is doing, and we having that hope that things will turn around, because just as Dr. T just sent a message and he saying, I know most bosses who technically are super or they are super, but emotionally bankrupt. So so it kind of transcends directly into their way of administering their duties, and then it's kind of put them in that category of a bad or a difficult boss. So I mean, you've nailed it for us. You've nailed it for us. Good work by A-Link Consult. What you're doing, I mean, it's the best thing that is there now, because there are a lot of people in other places or in workplaces and they are facing these challenges, but how to approach it is a challenge, because they need it. It's their daily bread. If they don't really approach it well or tackle it well,
they'll go hungry. You're right.
So it's a whole lot of things that you've shared with that. So on behalf of the African Seasoned Speakers Network flagship program, the Power Impact Series, we are so honored and pleased to have you, Mr. John Appiah, this evening, this morning, this afternoon, depending on wherever you are watching us, for sharing this beautiful knowledge with us. And we know our viewers and myself have taken a lot of things from what you shared. So we want to say a very big thank you to you, and our doors are always open. We'll call on you, and then we'll move to the next level. We're hoping, after handling bad and difficult bosses, what next? I'm sure that's the next question that will be coming very soon. So, Mr. Appiah, thank you so much. God bless you, and we wish you all the best in your endeavors as the manager for the clinic with Elite Consult, with the Days Girls International. And hey, he said it. He said tomorrow is which day, sir?
I think the International Girl Child Day, International Day of the Girl Child. Yeah.
Right. So we all join to celebrate it together and make sure the girl child does not feel intimidated wherever she finds herself. And with this knowledge, they will be able to handle bad and difficult bosses. So to the boys out there, get ready. We are also coming for you to be able to handle and manage bad and difficult bosses. Thank you so much, Mr. John Appiah. And it has been a wonderful time hosting Mr. John Appiah on the Power Impact Series. My name is Ambassador Benjamin Osuansa. We will be joining very soon, shortly, with another guest this evening. So hold on, don't go, be with us, and you'll hear from us shortly. Thank you so much.